Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, TigerTank12, however you call me, I don't really care, and welcome back to not World of Tanks, but War Thunder. Now, I mentioned previously in the very first video I made when I returned from my absence that I would actually be playing War Thunder on this channel as well. And this video today is kind of a apology for that one video I made about 2 years ago where I talked about why I don't play War Thunder. The thing is that War Thunder actually is a very, very cool game indeed, and that it is completely different from the experience that you have in World of Tanks. I would not say per se that War Thunder is realistic in this sense, but it's a lot more realistic than World of Tanks is in the vehicle combat, in the characteristics of the vehicle and the gameplay. I think it is probably the most realistic kind of World War II vehicle simulator that is out there, because I don't really think that there's anything else out there other than World of Tanks, War Thunder, and the other game. What was it called again? Armored Warfare. But I have to really be honest, this game is so much fun, especially if you learn the mechanics and if you, want to have a combined battle with airplanes and tanks, or maybe ships and airplanes. It really is very unique in that kind of sense. So I just thought today, why not have a little bit of an excursion into War Thunder, show you guys where I'm currently at, what kind of vehicles I'm currently playing, and you can see the tech tree, it's massive. There are so many vehicles in this game, an incredible amount of premium tanks as well, so yeah, things haven't really changed on that front. From World of Tanks to War Thunder, there are so many premium vehicles, and you can see that there are so many tanks and wheeled vehicles, everything available for you to unlock if you have the time, if you have the strength, the durability to actually, play and not get frustrated with the different vehicle layouts. But I think the most interesting part about War Thunder is definitely the realistic battles that you can take part in, where you fight against your historical opponents. So Germany, or the Third Reich, for that matter of fact, is fighting against the Soviet Union, against the Allies, and it's pretty damn cool. There are some very interesting constellations that do happen, and I'd say, without further ado, let's jump right in. So the vehicles that I'm going to be taking into battle this time around are going to be the Panzer IV-G, the Wirbelwind, the Stuck 3G, I think, or F, I'm not entirely sure, a captured Il-2 from 1942, and the Duck, and the 8.8 centimeter anti-tank gun that's actually anti-air, anti-tank, but doesn't really matter that much. So we're gonna be playing the Panzer IV-G first, because this tank is it's very versatile actually, and we're gonna just decrease the sound a little bit. It's a bit loud on my end, so it's probably gonna be a bit loud for you guys as well. So we're gonna be playing the Panzer IV-G, and basically the concept of realistic battles in War Thunder are, there are several flags that you have to capture, and you have to deplete the enemy's reinforcement or the enemy's health bar. I'm not entirely sure what constitutes this health bar. It has to do with the flags that you capture, so the more flags you have, the less tickets they get. If you destroy enemy vehicles, you get tickets. And it's quite interesting because in this game you can actually utilize machine guns, and there are certain vehicles that you can penetrate with those machine guns because they have no armor. And what you can see right there is our guys are already capturing C, they're capturing A on the mirrored image. And the difference right here is that basically in War Thunder a single shell can kill you. And it's not an ammo rack like in World of Tanks, but every single shell, like right there we just spotted a tank. Not entirely sure what the distance is. but it's very, very far away in the woods, so I don't think that that is a good opportunity for us to engage at that range, but yeah. So yeah, a single shell can kill your entire vehicle just by being able to kill your crew. That's, I think, way more immersive when you actually can still survive on a single crew member. And you cannot replenish your crew members unless you go onto a flag post and you have like the ability. You can only replenish one crew member, but a lot of times you only need two. A gunner, a driver. The gunner will also be loading when you know, you're stationary and you just fired. Oh, you got an incoming shell right there. And you can tell that I'm still kind of new to this. I've been playing a lot of arcade because of the kind of easier driving mechanics, the easier flying mechanics. You can get into the game a lot easier with arcade, but realistic battles are basically where the most fun can be had. Because the true kind of characteristics of the vehicles are applied to, and you know, if you have ever played the M10, the American tier, I don't even know what kind of tier it is in this game, but it's a mid tier or low tier tank destroyer that absolutely has like the worst turret rotation speed. Right there, we just spotted the M24 Chaffee, and we have actually penetrated his armor, but now we have to finish him off. We kind of killed like, I think, 4 crew members of his 5 or 6, or maybe we only wounded 3 of them. But he's falling back. He's going to be damaged, definitely. But he's on position on B. What you can also do, and what a lot of us World of Tanks players will probably very much dislike, is the automatic artillery barrage that you can pick up if you unlock it in the game. And it's exactly what it says it is. It's an artillery barrage that rains down. If you get lucky, you might get a direct hit. If you're unlucky, you won't get any kill out of that. Right there, some kind of plane, P-63 just crashed right next to us. I think that's the Air Cobra, if I'm correct. The Air Cobra, but land leased from the Americans. There are also like land leased captured vehicles in the game, which is quite fascinating, quite cool. All of a sudden, like the Russians are going up against a premium KV-1 that they cannot really penetrate because, well, it's a premium KV-1 that has enough armor to withstand anything. And right there is a tank. We're just gonna be firing. It was actually close. It's a KV-2. It's a KV-2. Ooh, we hit his tracks. We have to go higher. But we have to be careful as well. There's armor over there. Someone just hit our hull. And you can see that down the bottom left corner that the drivers are actually... The drivers heard the gunner on the right side. Maybe he's also the radio operator. Probably not. And the gunner is hurt as well. And you can see right there that that is actually an anti-air, and it is a Swedish anti-air. No, it's a French anti-air, AMX 13 DCA 40, and he actually did wound our commander very critically. The commander is actually standing in the back right there, so quite fascinating. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to check something. I was not sure if I was recording with my microphone muted or not, because I just kind of recorded something else. But yeah, certainly War Thunder is a very interesting and nice change from the very fast-paced and hectic kind of game that World of Tanks is. And I think, you know, regarding back to my statement that I can't really get into the game because I've invested so much time into World of Tanks, I kind of stand by the fact that I've invested a lot of time in World of Tanks. There's a KV2, and we actually knock him out, get his engine, and somehow the shrapnel traveled right through the tank and must have killed the remaining crew member that was not hurt. So yeah, I've invested a lot of time in World of Tanks. I've invested quite a lot of time into War Thunder now as well, but I think they're very unique games, especially the airplane segment. Oh, that was misfire. The airplane segment of War Thunder is just really cool. Also, the ship battle is very, very different. There's a KV-1 over there. He just stopped in the middle of the road and he gets punished for it. And yeah, I absolutely adore both games now, and I can understand why the backlash, especially from the War Thunder fans on that video, was quite immense. It's kind of, you know, it's always this big comparison battle between World of Tanks and War Thunder, but the games are kind of very different from one another. That doesn't make a lot of sense to compare them one-on-one directly. We could compare like the way that they show off the different vehicles in game, but oh, there's a tank over there. We actually just bounced him. I'm gonna pop some smoke because oh, it's actually Sherman. Sherman just bounced us. And there was another vehicle coming in. It was a T-34 somewhere around there. And yeah, like other than that, the ideas of the games are very differently. And which one is more successful? Well, it's a hard one to say. I think from the player base, World of Tanks probably has more players. War Thunder, I'm not sure. War Thunder is very well liked in the community as well. But I guess like everyone has their own problems or similar problems. For example, that War Thunder has a bit of a issue with some pay-to-win aspects that I've noticed, like bushes that you can buy for real life currency or real money currency, which give you a distinctive advantage that your tank kind of looks like a bush, which you cannot get if you do not spend money on this game. The grinding aspect also, it goes a lot faster with premium as you expect. This game also has boosters that World of Tanks has in its own way as well. And there is, I think, another KV. It's a KV-1S actually. His turret is turned. We do not pen him. Unfortunately, he's turning towards us, so we have to be careful. He bounces us. We do not pen him again. So this is kind of awkward, because the gun breach of the Panzer IV is quite easily penetrated because of the very... There we go. We actually knock him out right through the upper glaciers there. Because like it's very flat, as you can see, 90 degrees, nothing too spectacular. But you know, I was thinking about making a video. I think that is a Cromwell. There's a Cromwell over there. We knock him out as well. I was thinking about making a video in World of Tanks and War Thunder where we compare the Tiger 1 in the way that they have actually, you know, depicted one of the most iconic tanks of World War II. But as I mentioned previously, it's quite difficult to compare World of Tanks and War Thunder. So the Tiger 1 in World of Tanks is a complete different story, but that is exactly the kind of the funny aspect, how two games kind of take their take on the Tiger 1. I've just unlocked the Tiger 1, so I have to play a couple of games in the Tiger 1 in War Thunder, but turns out it's kind of like this heavy powerhouse that you expect it to be from like the historical sources, while in World of Tanks it's kind of a sniping vehicle, which has a lot of HP, but the armor does not hold up to a high enough standard because it's very flat. But I think certainly two very cool and distinctive different approaches to a very legendary vehicle. But I'm still working on a couple of things, like my live streaming. I was trying live streaming just a couple of days ago. Somehow the settings are not correct anymore. I have no idea. Sometimes it works perfectly, sometimes it doesn't work at all. I might just completely put it all on Twitch, because it turns out the YouTube live streaming services are a bit weird. But at the same time, the thing is, most of my, or pretty much the majority of all of you guys are sitting on YouTube regarding my following, and obviously you cannot expect people to follow to another platform if you already have it on YouTube. So yeah, I can get it. I'm gonna see if I can optimize it and get it working on YouTube, because I think that would be a lot better, a lot more fun. Oh, there's a bomb right there. So yeah, I mentioned there are airplanes in this game, and I was just bombed by an American attacker, ground attacker, whatever it was. I'm gonna show you guys the duck, as I like to call it, the HS-129B3, which is actually a very unique plane with a 75mm gun, which was supposed to take out armor from above. But basically, this wraps this one up. We got 8 kills. We did pretty damn well. The Panzer IV-G is a very, very nice tank in War Thunder. It gives you kind of a different view of certain vehicles that you have played in different games. I've never really seen the Panzer IV as like a powerhouse in World of Tanks, more like kind of a stepping stone, because the tier system there is completely different. But in War Thunder, you can see like the power that a certain vehicle has as soon as you get like a 75mm gun, where you previously were only outfitted with a 50mm gun at best. It certainly does do quite a lot of damage, and it's quite capable of knocking out a lot of tanks that were like prime World War II vehicles and that were used by either sides. For example, like the the M4A2 or the M4A1 with the 76mm gun. That's quite fascinating, quite interesting to see. And yeah, I'm going to be playing more War Thunder certainly in the next time. Probably going to be switching over to planes as well. You can see I have the P47 right here. The Thunderbolt, and this is actually a premium variant, so you can see I'm still as bad with premium vehicles as I am in World of Tanks, but nonetheless, very, very cool. This game is a lot of fun. Give it a try if you have not played it at all. It takes a little bit of time getting used to it, especially if you're just playing World of Tanks, but the different playstyles, I think they add together very nicely. I think it's very cool when you want to have like action-packed games. You play World of Tanks and you just run around and like it's all about the damage, while in War Thunder you have like more the strategic approach. You have more of the being careful. You know, if you like have the knowledge of the map, you can be super effective in this game. If you have the knowledge of the tanks, the weak spots, the way that this game works, you're going to be very effective, and I think it's really cool. So yeah, this is my apology to all the War Thunder fans. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to get to higher tiers where I get jets, where I get like some real fast modern tanks. That's something that I'm looking forward to, because World of Tanks have obviously played a lot of different vehicles that are early modern stage, like the Leo A1. Or just a Leo 1, and I would love to see how they're depicted in this game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.